Everybody, episode 107 of Anime on Draft. I am joined here by my lovely co-host. We got Rolando, we got Alec, we got Mark, and me. I'm hosting this week. This is Drew. So welcome everybody.
Welcome back.
Thanks for joining us. Welcome back. I heard about all of the shenanigans at Anime on Expo through the social medias and things like that. So it looks like you all had a good time. So. Yeah, but we're back for just a regular episode this week. Like I said, episode 107. I don't know about everybody out there. I know for me it's really hot. Alec, what's the temperature outside right now?
It's probably like 110, 111.
110. Yeah. So we got some nice, crisp Latino lagers going on today.
Latin X.
Latin X, to be PC. I don't know.
Mexican
but
style
anyway,
lagers. Can we call them that? Is that PC?
Yeah, Mexican style lagers.
Well,
there we go.
Whatever we got, they're crisp, refreshing lagers.
Usually that's what's written on it.
I know Mark and I have the same one. Liz sold a can for me, so I don't even have the can anymore. Mark, do you have it?
Yeah, I got it. It's the South Norte Brewing Company, Si Senor.
Si Senor.
Spelled
there it is.
Si Senor, but
S-E-A.
spelled S-E-A, yes.
Yeah.
Digo Si Senor.
Has the same colors as a Bud Light, but it's not a Bud Light.
Is that what you were singing, Rolando?
Yeah.
Amen.
Oh, gosh. That takes me back.
Yeah, it does. Anyway. David will get that one.
That's what Mark and I are drinking. Alec and Rolando, what do you two gents got?
Water.
I have the Golden Road K38. This was the only Mexican style lager that I could find.
That's the only one they had. There's they didn't have
besides
El
actual
Sully?
besides actual
Modelo?
Mexican lagers.
You didn't get no
Like
Modelo
Pacifico
or
Mexico.
or Modelo.
Yeah.
So is that the dark version or the light one? Because
It's-
at the Bevmo I went to,
it's
they
the
had
dark.
two different types.
It's the
The
dark
That's-
lager.
That's what I was thinking about grabbing, but I didn't really want to do another Golden Road.
I like dark lagers. They're yummy.
I can see how this compares to like something like Negra Modelo.
Yeah.
Which I like. I
really like that.
Negro Modelo.
I like all Modelos. I mean, I don't usually go for like Mexican style beers, except on like a really hot day like it is right now, or if I really want a michelada. And Modelo's super okay hand emoji for
That's what I was gonna
micheladas.
say. Modelos are
Yeah,
the
it's the go-to.
best.
Our faithful viewer, David, is saying that he has a summer shandy, Red Bull and vodka. That is not.
That is not a
Summer shandy.
summer shandy.
Good try though.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate,
Something real,
appreciate the
real
effort.
mellow.
just
What?
something to wake you up a little bit in the
Sound-
afternoon.
What?
That sounds like it's just a Red Bull and vodka.
Red Bull vodka summer shandy. All right. Throw a little
summer
lemonade
shandy
in there.
edition. Nice.
Nice.
David's like, yeah, it
Nice.
keeps me going. Yeah.
Let's do this. Ready for the podcast.
All right. So I poured mine out. I got a nice Pilsner's glass here, and it's that
Ooh,
amber straw color that you would
Pretty.
kind of expect from this type of beer. Not as effervescent as I would have thought.
What
but
is bubbly?
got a nice little lingering head
Yeah.
on there. Let me take a sipperino.
Mine
Is
has
the head
no
on
head.
yours like kind of pillowy? It just
Mine's
seems
like
like,
a
it's
nice
like it's
clear.
like very thin and got like kind of like or cloudy, I should say. Kind of has like some waves to it. It's kinda
Mine's
weird.
pretty
No.
clear. Icy.
But I poured mine out a little bit ago.
Smells pretty malty on mine.
David, do not mix them, please.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah,
So-
mine. Ours is probably less malt forward as yours, but you still have that like crispy maltiness that you get from one of these lagers, and yeah, it's just that classic Mexican style lager. It's what it tastes like. It's good. It's refreshing. It's what I want right now.
Same here. It's very hot in here.
I don't know if this is
Trying
because
to keep the windows open or closed.
because mine was sitting out for a few minutes, but there's hardly any mouthfeel, and well, I mean, it hasn't been sitting out opened because I just opened it, but like
Yeah.
it doesn't have too much of a mouthfeel. Pretty laid back. The smell was a little malty, but it tastes like
Heineken.
it kind of tastes
Heine.
like a weird caramel, like watered down caramel. This is not what I expected it to taste like. I thought I would expect it to taste a bit more like Negra Modelo. But this is kind of just an odd flavor to me right now.
Does it taste like how Geddes tastes watered down?
No. It's like
Sounds odd.
Sounds
it's just
gross.
like a very subdued caramel flavor.
Mm.
It's just
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
caramel.
Ours has like a kind of a very faint sweetness to it too. Like right at the end, I'm just getting something kind of sugary.
A little bit of banana. Like a little
banana,
little
like
bit
maybe
of
banana bready. Yeah.
I'm getting a little
it's
of banana
kind
in this too.
interesting.
Yeah. I would like it to be more bitter because I don't actually really like the banana taste.
Yeah, I agree. If it was a little bit more bitter, I think it might just be like the yeast or like the malt that they're using too.
This tastes like a less bitter Pacifico. If you had Pacifico before, it's a little like not like aggressively bitter, but it
Yeah.
has like that definite bitter finish. I think this needs
It-
that, but then it would just be
yeah.
Pacifico.
No,
know what?
that's true. Because Pacifico is like very crisp too, and this is not really reaching that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what this tastes
Yeah.
like? This tastes like
What?
a watered down version of that blue Newcastle.
Oh no! Oh
Blue
no! That makes
had
me
it.
so sad.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh
never had it.
no!
What is that?
I was just thinking about it. I'm like, what does this taste like? It's
It looks
something
like
that I had before.
Yours looks like flat, Rolando. 'cause
Yeah,
it's
yours
like
looks
even,
like you're
It's-
drinking Coke.
It's not
It's like
flat though. But it does taste like. So it's like, you know how Newcastle has that like distinct flavor. Think of like less Band-Aidy ethanol-y, but more like the blue Newcastle, and then just like kind of sweet and watered down.
Ugh, I hate the blue Newcastle. I hate it normal. I don't even want to think about it watered down.
You know what would make this better, Mark? And I'm sad that I don't have it, but a lime. A lime would make this better.
A lime might make
think
this
it would-
better too.
I think that would
A
help it
lime
little
makes
bit.
everything.
I don't think I
better.
have
Maybe
have
even
some
a little
lime
bit of
juice.
salt. A little bit of salt.
Salt
a little
on
bit
that
of
rim,
lime.
rim.
It needs
right?
something. It tastes like it's kind of, it's missing something.
Yeah.
And I completely agree. If it had a lime, I think that might sharpen up the flavor a little bit more. Maybe give
I
it
think-
another like little citrusy edge. Because
Yeah.
it just all I'm getting is like kind of bready, banana bready, and like a little bit of sweetness. I feel like the sweetness is starting to come out more. Like the more I'm drinking it. Yeah, I don't know. It's not bad.
Yeah.
But it's not.
drinkable.
Yeah, I don't know. I would probably rather just go have a Modelo, to be honest with you.
I think what I'm gonna
Yeah.
do is I'm gonna go get some michelada fixins and make a michelada with this and report back. And
Let's
I'll
go buy a
also
cup.
get. I'll go. No, I don't like the
Right
cup.
now.
The michelada cup.
I'll go
Yeah,
get
report back in 15.
and I'll also go get a lime and just try it with lime, and I'll see by next week what I think about it.
Yeah, I think when I take a picture for Instagram, I'll try to do the same thing, or at least try a couple different variations of it and
Yeah.
see if it changes the flavor a little
Yeah.
bit, and maybe it'll spice things up. I have
Yeah.
some tahini, but that's about it. I don't know.
Yeah, I have some tahini, but I don't think
think
it
it's
like
really-
it maybe rim the glass, but I'm not gonna tip this over to rim the glass right now. It's full. There's still
It-
beer in it. But as you can see, I've been drinking it. It's very drinkable. I'm almost like halfway done. So
You know what? It's kind of cloudy too. I'm usually like used to like these types of lagers being like very clear.
mhm,
It's actually kind of like very opaque.
yeah. Well, I guess those were kind of our final impressions. Rolando, do you have any final impressions before we rate these?
Blue Newcastle.
I'm drinking carbonated,
Newcastle.
watered down caramel, blue Newcastle.
Not
Nice.
I don't think I'd be a fan, but if you had to
Yeah.
rate it, then Rolando, what are you gonna rate it?
Doesn't sound
2.5.
good.
2.5.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't sound good.
It's not very good.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll stick with
Um,
my cold water.
Cold water.
Mark,
Nice.
Yeah, I know you were
Mark?
choosing between this and what you got. You made the right
Uh,
choice.
Probably dodged a bullet with that one. I don't know, to be honest, I don't know. Maybe this one's probably not that much of a step up from that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Mark, what are you gonna rate ours?
I'll probably give it a 3.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's.
I'm gonna do 2.75.
I was thinking about doing that. I'll just
yeah.
say 3 just to
Yeah.
be fair and say it's average.
Yeah, it's average. That's good. It's like it's not terrible.
It's still drinkable. I mean, I'll still enjoy it. I'm gonna go have another one, but when I'm done with this one. But yeah, I think having something else in this would just
I
kind of.
found another beer, Mark.
Oh, what's that? in your
Where
hand?
did this come from? This is a stone beer. What is it? A Pog? Notorious POG. It's like pomegranate, orange, and guava. And
Oh, I
it's
saw that. Like that.
is a Berliner Weiss, and it smells like so citrusy. I'm just gonna take a quick sip, and then we'll go on.
Let me see if I can put out my hand and have a beer appear there.
I
Let's
have
go,
another
grab me a
beer that appeared here.
Can I have a beer?
Rolando has
here?
another beer too.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
called
Alec doesn't have that power.
the Grolsch.
Didn't work.
It is a premium lager since 1615, and they're still using bottles from that time as well.
Flip caps, nice.
It smells like Heineken and tastes like Heineken that has more hops in it.
Nice. That stone beer is like super citrusy, like super heavy passion fruit, super heavy grapefruit. I was wrong, not guava, grapefruit.
Great.
It's interesting. It tastes like a shandy. It's a mix between like a Berliner and a shandy, but it's good. So anyway,
PogChamp.
I see this before we move on from our beer. I see this note down here. Discuss the idea of maybe doing a dry month a few times a year. I'm definitely down because I've been doing the dry month by myself for a while. I know Sober October is a big time for that.
But that's when there's so many good
But that's
pumpkin
Oktoberfest.
beers.
Yeah, but
still
you,
be there. You just hoard them. You hoard them and then you drink them after.
well, I mean,
Alright.
the main idea is like, I know we drink every week, but we don't want
Have
to
power
necessarily. We don't necessarily like promote alcoholism or anything,
for the
but
memes.
also it saves us some money as well.
Yeah.
fair.
And it also like we end up like with my fridge. There's just like random beers in there because
Yeah,
you buy
yeah.
like 6
Yeah.
packs or 4 packs. Like, hey, there's some other beers in there.
have
I
one
think
more
it's but I was gonna say I think it's a good idea. So we'll probably end up doing that in the coming months, and maybe we
Yeah.
can do like maybe a coffee month. I think that would be a cool one. We probably have to start a little bit earlier because drinking high caffeinated drinks at like 8.
Yeah, I'm
7
not
at
gonna
night
do
is
that at
probably
7
not a good
p.m.
idea.
Or
when
we
I
can
have
also-
to wake up at 5.
We can also do the thing that Alec was talking about, where he wanted to talk about like the origins of some drinks, like the old fashioned, or like whiskey, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I was
it's
thinking
like, well,
we
we're
could
not
do
drinking it. We can talk about
Reverse
it.
too. We could eat like cheeses and be like, what beer would taste good with this? Flip it
That'd
instead.
be cool. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Or have
Yeah.
what snack is in your fridge right now? What would you want with this? It's like, well, I'm eating chocolate, so not really anything, but maybe a stout.
Wine.
Yeah, wine.
Yeah.
That might be
So
something.
yeah, just we got some ideas. So I would just say look out in the future. We're not just going to continuously drink. I think it'd be a good time to break it up, and
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. With that said, we can move into our final talking about our last Orishiri segment for Death Parade, episode 12. So we put this off for a couple weeks because we all had various things going on, Anime Expo and the like. But I'm definitely curious to see what you all think about it. We can start off just talking about the episode itself. Basically, Dekium pulls Chiyuki down to the lowest level in order to test her one final time. And I just wanted to kind of open it up to you all. What did you think about the final test and ultimately her decision at the end? Anybody?
I don't know. Somebody else. Oh, no.
Mark, you go.
No, I want to.
You
know
talked
your guys'
first.
You
You
talked
talked
first.
first.
No, I
Oh
did.
no!
You lost the battle
You
of
did it.
chicken.
Oh
I just
no!
lost the game.
I just lost the game. Fuck.
I don't know. I mean, I like the way that it ended. Oddly enough, I mean, I think that she made the right decision. In a
I guess
sense.
what I can do, Mark, I can give you what I think about it, and then you can all say if you agree or not with me.
Okay. Yeah.
But basically, kind of the way
Mark's
that I
like, yeah.
interpret it,
Yeah,
at least in terms of like the decision that she makes, I think somewhere in the back of her mind, she kind of understands that if she goes back, because and for those of you who didn't watch the show, basically Dekium offers her to basically go and be reborn without any memories of anything that she just experienced in Quindekium. I think in the back of her mind, the reason why she makes that decision is she knows that if she goes back to that life without any memories of what she's experienced down there, that she would just end up in the same spot again.
Yeah.
Because who's this? She's not going to be recovered. She obviously committed suicide because of all these bottled up emotions and not being able to skate and a bunch of different things going on there. She's just throwing herself right back into that position without the knowledge that she gained by being down there. So I feel like it's while she wants to kind of make up with her mom and say, hey, it's not your fault. I made a terrible decision. I was being selfish, all these things. She knows that it probably wouldn't end up being that way, which is why she decides not to go back.
Yeah. I think that's what makes it so hard is that, like we as the viewer kind of know like the circumstances, because we know that when she was there, she was able to experience a lot of like different human emotions and kind of as she was realizing like her past self or her life and her memories, she's like attributing all these experiences that she had, there in in Quindecum, and like kind of like learning through those lessons that she saw like firsthand experience, and I don't think that she would have wanted to go back and be in the same situation like you said. So that's why I think that she made the right choice.
I think she made the right choice.
Yeah, I think it's very, very difficult.
I don't disagree with your opinion, but I kind of was thinking also they had that flashback where she saw all of the people that were judged coming down. And I was wondering if maybe she kind of thought of that as if she goes back, somebody else dies, and she essentially takes away that person's chance to understand the people around her. And she threw away her chance. So I don't know. Like, to me, it's kind of like, where does she have the right to take that away from somebody else? And I think she kind of saw that, too, because she was looking at all the other people and how they lived their lives and their regrets at the end. And it's like, well, anybody would want to go back, but they don't get to go back. And why should I? I don't know.
But,
Well,
for like half the show, she didn't see their memories, so that's the thing. She just
No,
kind
but
of
she saw
she saw her memories.
I mean, she saw what happened with them,
you,
like their
you say-
reactions.
You say you think that, but she actually does say exactly what you said,
Oh,
Alec.
well then, I just wasn't paying attention. So
She does say that she she's not the only one that has like unique circumstances, and she kind of feels like it's not fair for her to get special treatment or anything. When, as Deckham had even stated, like 7,000 people are dying every second in the world, or like whatever the number was. So like, as much as like we like to think she's a unique case and that she gets special treatment, like
she's not.
she like there are a bunch, like 6,999 other people that have like a similar situation with her, maybe like, and like countless other people that are tied and connected to those people that died, and have these emotions. I think the main thing that comes from this episode is just the survivors. It's not really a survivor's guilt in like the sense that like a plane crash, like all this stuff. It's like the people that are left behind, like that guilt of like a suicide.
She's witnessing people who are like not given this choice as well, like to possibly come back.
And it's just
most people are kind of just given that judgment, and they have no say about it, because they are like just coming to the realization that they're dead, whereas she kind of had already known, and then is like also experiencing this like, all right, like shit, like do I really want to go back?
Yeah.
Or don't I? Is it beneficial to me to even go back?
I think the fact that Decim showed her like this, I guess this moment of her mother grieving over her decision, like really
Yeah.
hits home. What happens to the people you leave behind when you do commit suicide, and like when someone like her that commits suicide regrets it after the fact. There's no do-overs. Like obviously Decim can't really bring her back to the world of the living. This is just a test. But we see her go through these emotions, like, and then she's even like telling Decim like, "You do it. You hit the button, please." Like, because she can't do it herself. She can't like put it upon herself to take someone else's life for her own. When she didn't even take her own life. Like she took her own life for granted in that sense.
What do you all think of like Nona's conversation with Flower Godman? Do we ever get introduced to his name?
Yeah.
Maybe at one point. I just
forget
always
that
thought
I
of
think
him
they
as
said it.
It's
Flower
not.
Head.
It's not
or something.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just call him
Yeah.
Flower Head or something.
Flower boy, yeah, flower head.
Flower Chin.
What do you think of not only him finding out, but him kind of basically his conversation with Nona and what he said? Any impressions or thoughts on that?
Oh, doggy. His name is Oculus, according to my anime list.
Oh, really? I was Googling it.
The all-seeing eye. What was your question, Drew? Sorry.
Sorry, I'm trying to make these dogs be quiet. What do you think of the overall or that final interaction between Nona and him? His dogs. The conversation that they were having, basically him saying that
Arbiters don't change; they'll do whatever. Like just you watch.
just
He was
puppets?
like, just you wait. He's gonna act the same way that he's supposed to, because they're just puppets.
and then tying that in with like the final thing that kind of Nona says, like when you see the memories like going into the furnace or whatever, like it's saying like what arbiters are, what humans are, and it's almost like she comes to peace with the fact that like she can't change anything. But I'm curious as to what you guys think about it.
I mean, I thought it was interesting to find out that the arbiters come from the void, like the void of souls. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was also interesting too. I wasn't really expecting that. I thought that they were just like creations probably created from one of the either Nona or the Oculus guy, the flower dude. I thought they were just
Or whoever
I don't
God
know.
is, quote unquote.
right.
That they said left a long time ago.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I thought they came from the mannequins, the empty husks or whatever that they created. So I'm not surprised it came from the void because that's how I thought they made them. But I don't know where I got that from. I think it was early on when they first started talking about arbiters.
Well, like if you think about it, if they do come from the the collected consciousness, like the void of souls, like technically they do come from humanity and do have a sort of like connection.
Didn't they
and
add a fourth
ability to get like have human emotions? And so yeah, that fourth rule you're talking about, where if they spend time with humans, then they'll get ruined. I guess that was the rule or whatever. So it's like
Yeah.
they like it's kind of an interesting thing to say that they've never lived and can't experience death, so they can't judge on it, but technically at some point they have.
Right.
If
Well,
they
because
come from that.
they've witnessed so much of it, really.
Yeah.
that I'm sure it has to leave some sort of impression on them.
I think kind of like what I take away from it is that arbiters have to be arbiters, humans have to be humans, because if humans were judging, no one would ever get judged, and we kind of saw that with like Shuki when she was very naive at the start. It's like you can't judge these people, you don't know them. And then arbiters have to judge without like becoming human, because if the closer you get, it's like what you said, it's you become, God, what was the word they use when he's crying? it was an emotion. Sorrow,
Yeah.
is that what it is? Like, this is what sorrow feels like, and he just like totally breaks down. It's like the first time you see both of his eyes and he's crying. It's like you can't get that close, because if you do, you're just, like Rolando said, you're broken as an arbiter. Um, so I guess, unless anyone has any other specific topic they want to talk about, I just want to get your overall impressions of the show. Do you hold it as high as I hold it? Is it up there? Do you think it was good? Just want to know overall, from start to finish, what everybody thought of the show. And Mark, we can start with you because you don't want to talk.
Marky.
He refuses.
I like the show, man. I like the show a lot. And I think that you hyped it up, like good enough that you were saying like this is like one of your 10 shows, like 10 out of 10 shows. But I think that watching it in this format was also really good because you kind of like get to space yourself. But yeah, man, I actually really enjoyed the show. I think seeing it, just the character development in the show is just really good. Plus, like all the like the kind of hidden meanings behind things, all the lore that they bring in, like some of the like kind of fairy tales that they use. The imagery is just amazing. Yeah, this is a really good show. I think it's highly recommended to watch it for anybody who hasn't seen it. Yeah, I liked it.
And I'll say
I
too,
think
before
it's a good ride.
the next person goes, watching it for the second time was really interesting, knowing.
I'm sure.
And because I it's been a while, so I didn't remember every single thing, but as it was like coming, it's like, oh, I remember what happened in that person's story, or from episode to episode, it was kind of coming back to me. It was really cool, and knowing kind of Chiyuki's like secret and kind of why she's there and things, from start to finish, was definitely an interesting dynamic. Watching Dekim and her interaction again. So, Alec, what did you think of it?
I really enjoyed it. I think it was really interesting to watch, and they kind of, sorry, my phone keeps blowing up. It was really interesting how they kind of break down like human morality and just passing judgment from a completely unbiased, emotionless perspective, and then how that changes as you get more and more emotional. It's kind of neat watching that kind of, because you can kind of see that in Decim as he progressively gets more and more emotional until he finally breaks or whatever. But I really like it, and I really love the animation. I thought it was just excellent the entire time. I don't ever think I was watching a part where I was like, oh, that's really bad. It's like, this is always just really good. So definitely a really good show. I had enjoyed it, and I would actually want to watch it a second time, maybe like a year from now, just to kind of do the same thing you're kind of doing, is like, what happens, but what else can you get out of it? So good show.
Definitely. Rolando, any thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's a good show. One thing that I think that it really brings to light is the kind of like the emphasis is on like humanity and morality in general. And if you think about it, morality is like some sort of objective, like an objective ideal that we're trying to strive for, that is very I guess tied to our own subjective opinions and feelings, and that's kind of what makes it like a sort of human a human ideal, I guess you could say. And the fact that the whole point of this was, what happens if you take a human element, like human emotions, and add it to this otherwise objective arbiter, and you see how like the judgments change, because it's like we as humans like might judge a certain moral situation one way, but like them as just being this outside third party objective source, like they see things in a different way. And so like I guess like the whole idea of adding this human element to morality and like judging in general is kind of, I guess, like a testament to like how we as humans view good and evil. So I thought it did a good job of kind of showing a lot of gray instead of things being just black and white.
And I guess before I close it up and we move on to the next segment, last question: do you think Chiyuki's judgment would be different, or do you think Dekium's judgment of Chiyuki would be different from the start of the show versus where he judges her at the end of the show, based on everything that happened?
Well,
What do you mean? Like if he
Do you think,
had like the knowledge of her, or I'm not sure.
No,
What do you
just based on like the journey that he went through, do you think he sends her to the void, or do you think he sends her to be reincarnated like he did at the end of the show?
oh,
Based
okay. I
on
understand.
based on what happened with the former suicide cases, and based on, you know, all the different things that he's learned throughout each judgment, do you think he saves her, or sends her back?
Where did the other guy go? The guy that the mom
He
and
went
son
to
guy.
the void.
He went to the void. Okay.
Which one's the mom and son guy?
They were playing the video game, and it was
Oh.
like his stepmom.
I see.
Yeah. I think, well, the whole premise of the show is kind of based on the fact that he didn't know how to judge her. So I'm not sure how he would have judged her, but I guess if you look at it from the standpoint of where he was back then to where he is now, he probably would have sent her to the void. Is just what I would guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that too. I think he probably would have sent her to the void. Yeah.
At the start of the show, yeah. Sorry, guys.
So when I think about it, I agree with you guys. The one thing that's interesting, it's like, so Nona's experiment is a success then, right? Basically, you know, she's able to influence
Yeah.
how they're judging based on, you know, what happened at the very end, which is very cool. I don't know. I like that aspect. I think it's
Yeah, no,
interesting.
I think it was powerful, like that whole culmination of everything. Because, like you said, I think Nona kind of playing with this experiment in a sense is an interesting take on the whole arbiter system. I don't know.
Well, she also has like a different opinion than Flowerhead, where she was saying they're not just puppets and they can change and learn. They won't just do what they're always gonna do if you add new elements. So, where he's saying
Right.
they're just puppets, but they're
Yeah.
you know some sort of
But that-
conscious
then-
being.
Yeah, that just like begs the question. Like, then is that like the right thing to do though? Is that the better way?
I think
to,
they decided
you
no
know, judge
because they
people?
added the fourth rule. They decided no, that
Yeah.
isn't the right way to do it for us because
Well, and essentially, too, you're torturing the arbiters by doing that, right? It's like
Yeah, kind of.
he's down there at the base. He's like, this is sorrow.
I mean, to a certain extent, though, that's what she said. Like, they should feel some pain judging these people. Like, it shouldn't just be like, all right,
how
die.
far to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
If
how
you-
far do they take it?
If you feel no sympathy, then do you really have the right to judge? I guess is the whole
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
If you have no idea what they're feeling and going through. But then, you know, that's a human thing, emotions. If you look at it from animals, I don't know. Anyways, it's a good show.
Well,
Gets you thinking.
Yeah.
very cool. Well,
It
yeah,
does.
thanks for watching it, guys. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. Like I said, it's one of my favorites. Kind of like a random show. Like it really came out of nowhere. I don't even know what like enticed me. I was just watching, you know, seasonal anime. It's like, oh, this looks interesting, and it's like, whoa, this is.
You're like,
yeah.
whoa. This
He was
is
like, "Oh,
and
people
not
are
what I
killing each
strapped
other."
in for.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, like, and when I watched like the first episode when it aired, and I was like, this is weird. Like, I don't want to watch, you know, people
Yeah.
just like dying every episode. That's just, I don't know. It didn't seem that interesting. I was like, I guess the premise is kind of odd, but I was not
Yeah.
expecting this level of depth from the show.
Yeah. Well, very cool. We'll have to. I don't know.
Remember,
if
we
have
all
here-
must die.
What are we doing this season? Are we doing just seasonal anime? Or are we gonna pick another one?
Well-
what's the plan?
Well, we can talk about what we've seen and I guess discuss from there.
Okay, sounds good. So let's move on to our premieres. So 2019 summer premieres. We talked a couple weeks ago about some of the things that we had interest in, and we watched some of the previews. And so I guess we'll just like go down the list and we'll talk about what some of us are watching. And let me pull up the Annie chart list here. There it is. And we'll start with one that I was sort of hesitant on, and even before we started, I kind of asked you guys what you felt about it, because the premise seems kind of weird to me. I've seen some of like the gifs and things, and it looks like very outlandish. But you all are saying it's really good, so I'll probably pick it up. What we're talking about is Doctor Stone. And I'll open it up to one of you who are watching it to kind of give us, I guess, a little recap of what's going on and why, I guess, we should continue to follow it. So, Dr. Stone.
I think I'm the only one that's seen episode 2, so I'll leave it
Well,
to
let's
you
keep
guys
it to episode
talk,
1 then.
I haven't
to talk
seen,
about what.
I haven't seen episode 1 yet, but I'm gonna
I
watch
know
it.
what
It
happens
looks
in
good.
episode 2. I haven't watched it yet.
Talk about episode 1, Mark.
Or I guess you don't necessarily have to talk about the episode then. Just talk about why it would be a good show to kind of follow. Convince me, someone who's like seen a little bit of it, who is not convinced to watch it. That's what I'll say.
I mean, so I read like a couple of chapters of the manga, and I, to be honest, I wasn't like quite interested in it. To me, it seemed to like, I don't know, it seemed like such a stretch, and like the characters didn't seem that interesting to me. From the manga, like strictly from the manga. Watching the anime, I think, is a little bit better. Things are moving a little bit quicker. The pacing seemed really good. The animation style is really, really good. I mean, the art is based off of like Boichi's art, which is like just really intense, like like really intense drawn lines, like very scenic. So I think this lends itself to being like a really good anime adaptation. And it was a good first episode. It was fun. I actually really liked it. I think the characters are enjoyable to watch. I don't know.
Damn, they don't bark
Dogs
all
like
day.
that.
It's like the second you go to record, let's go crazy, let's kill everybody. Ah!
Talk about Dr. Strode. Dr. Strode, yeah.
I know who's not getting the miracle water.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit.
Oh man. I mean, I liked it. I liked the first episode. I'm gonna keep watching this one. I think it's good. I think it's a good show. I don't know, Rolando. You saw the first episode. Tell me your thoughts, and if you think that this is a good one to follow week to week.
I don't know about how much there will be to talk about if we follow it week to week, but I'm for sure gonna keep watching this one. I've seen both episodes that have been out, and I just think the interesting thing about it is like the characters, like as kind of stereotypical yet, you know, like seemingly one-dimensional as they are, like they kind of work well together, and like this whole post-apocalyptic society thing, like the second episode's already bringing in like a lot of conflict. I think it's just going to be interesting to see it play out, because I mean, you know, the typical like, oh, there's a bunch of high schoolers, they go save the day. Like that's like every JRPG and like fantasy anime out there, right? But this one's kind of like, okay, there's like high schoolers, you start to suspend your disbelief with a lot of the stuff that happens in it, because it's just like, what? But it's interesting. I don't know. There's just something about it that's like, to me, is just making me want to keep watching it.
Yeah, it's got a lot of character. Like well, besides the characters, it has very few characters, but they
It's
are.
got a lot
like,
of character.
Got
a lot of characters, but despite,
not a lot of
despite
characters,
the
but a
characters.
lot of
Not a lot of characters. A lot of character.
I think the one thing that draws me to it is the art style. I like the super bold, super intense lines and things like that, and I think the story kind of lends itself to that, which is interesting. So I'll do the 3-episode rule, I think, with it now. I wasn't even gonna touch it before, but I think I'll do 3 episodes, see what I think, and kind of go from there.
I haven't seen the first one, but I'm gonna watch it.
Sounds good. So that's Dr. Stone. Moving on to the next one, Dan Machi, Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? I think I've watched it. Mark, you watched it. Rolando, Alec, did you catch this one as well? So continuation of the end of the first season. Obviously, the second season we have the new Apollo arc and the war. We're going to war, boys. Hestia's 3-member family is going up against like the super high-powered
Creepy.
Apollo family.
Creepy fucking dude. That slurp at the end was like not expected at all. That was weird.
They were
Didn't like
getting
that.
into those J staff or JC staff lewd cooking ridiculous faces.
No, they were getting into like SAO
Yeah, I was about
season
to say.
1, part 2.
Licking people
Oh, yeah?
tied to
Elf.
fucking elf.
I forgot
Elf
about
times.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
How do you forget about that? Oh, God.
man.
That's why I tell people only to watch until it starts being elves and then stop.
And then stop there.
Mark, as you were watching it, I know you were saying you weren't feeling it too heavy. I like it. I don't know. I like these goofy J staff, like lighthearted harem adventure cooking.
Yeah, I liked the first
Isekai.
season.
I
I
liked
really
the first
did.
season a
It's
lot.
it's basically an isekai, but it's not because
Because
he's like already in the
They're,
world.
Yeah.
That is their world.
You don't see
Yeah.
him get hit by a truck.
It's just fantasy.
Yeah.
It's what it's fantasy.
Yeah, he
you
doesn't
know,
get hit by a truck
bef-
yet.
it's not someone from the current society being brought into their world. That's actually their world.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Right.
it's just sekai. It's not isekai.
It just has. It just has all the elements of
World.
an isekai.
The world.
The world.
I don't know what it was about it. This first episode just wasn't captivating for me. It just seemed like
Is it?
it seemed like it was the middle of last season, but this is like the first episode of the second season.
Is it the
Does that make
contrived?
sense?
Is it the contrived drama?
Maybe that's what it is. It
Because
just seemed like it was like so forced.
it
in
does
the very
seem
first
forced.
episode.
Yeah.
It was just like, okay, we're going to a party now. We're at war. Like,
Right.
why?
But it's not even
War
like
boys.
the thing that bothers me about it is that it seems really contrived because, what's his name from Hephaestus's family, blacksmith guy? He's the one that threw the first punch.
Oh well,
Yeah, he threw the
Yeah,
cup.
so
And
it's
where's he at?
it's not the
He's
the
not at
Hestia
war.
Familia's like fault. It's technically his fault.
Yeah, but Apollo
So-
hates Hestia, so it's okay.
Yeah, there's some
true.
sort of drama. I don't know if he necessarily hates her, but there's some sort of drama
Something.
between the two.
They had history
Um,
in heaven,
yeah,
she said.
that's
Oh,
right.
I mean, you know, with
So-
Opie like that.
I actually think he likes boys because there's no like
Oh.
really girls in his group except
His
for
two
very kind
commanders
of
were girls.
yeah, but
He
they're
just
like
likes-
tomboyish.
He just likes a male presence around him.
Apollo,
So-
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like building. It's like fraternity. He likes, the camaraderie of men. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm just saying stuff at this
I
point.
think this is at least like for me. I don't necessarily think this is something that we'll cover every week. Definitely something that I'll continue to watch.
I'll watch
probably
it, but
continue
There's
watching.
not going to
I'm
be
gonna
much
watch
to talk about
No.
for it. It's going to kind of be what it is. But
Yeah.
I'm surprised it took this long to get another season with how popular it is, especially in NA. But
There's a lot of shows that are coming back after a long time.
yeah,
Weird.
So,
will
so that's
watch it.
Hestia. This next show is sick.
Super
good.
The
Told you.
Fire Force, yeah.
I love the
we
art.
Watched,
It's so
we
good.
watched the premiere, and I think that kind of hooked everybody. And man, that first episode was like, it had
Lit.
everything. It had feels. It had action. It had great animation, great music, great introduction to characters.
It had fan
um,
service.
It had a little bit of everything. But
Had
man,
everything you wanted.
I'm a super fan of this show. This is
super fan?
super sick. It reminds me a
I'm a
lot
regular
of kind of how Blue Exorcist sort of got set up. It has kind of the same vibe, the same feel, and obviously the same art style. But I'm super looking forward to this show. What do you all think about it?
I like it. It's really good. 2 thumbs up,
Thumbs up.
from
2
me.
thumbs
Two thumbs
I
up.
like
It's a
the art
show-
style too much.
It's a
not to
show
watch it.
where I don't necessarily think there'll be much to talk about week to week. There may be like some sort of drama that happens between it, but it just like in overall enjoyment of just like seeing the kind of show that it is and what happens in it and how well it's been executed, I'm a huge fan. One thing
Yeah.
that I found out about it, which is interesting, a lot of the people from Shaft got poached by Studio David to make this. So it's like this.
David.
Oh,
It's,
really?
it's
Great job,
Shaft
David.
people.
Good job.
Good job.
So it's Shaft, it's Studio David, who work on JoJo as well, and then it's like Soul Eater, Full Metal Alchemist kind of influenced on top of it, and you can tell it's just like sick. It's super
Yeah,
sick. So.
it's really well drawn. I think that this show will have a lot more plot-wise in maybe like 1 or 2 arcs, because it does a lot of like world building, kind of setting up characters and fleshing them out in the very beginning. But once that's all kind of settled, it starts introducing some really cool like kind of bigger world problems.
Yeah.
which I think
It's a
are-
shonen.
would be good to discuss. Yeah, exactly.
Takes a
So,
while for
I think
things
that
to get
that
going.
would be good to come back.
And I think there's like a lot of
back to
morality
it, I
in the
think, would be my
world,
suggestion.
right? Oh, Mark's lagging for me. I think there's like a lot of morality in this world too, just the involvement with like the overall backstory of like how the Infernals like came to be, and then how like the church is sort of involved with it, or like the church that was formed from it. I think it's really interesting. And we'll kind of see where that evolves, because anytime you kind of evolve like religion and things, it becomes like super like there's like conflict around that, or we'll see like what the main villain's sort of response is to that. I think we kind of got a little bit of introduction to him in the second episode, or at least the first villain. Because this is actually, I think it's slated for like 40 something shows, 45 I think.
24.
24 for sure.
And
48 possibly. I'm not sure. Like I don't know if
It's
that's
like
been like
set
absolutely
for
confirmed.
48. Wow.
I think it's confirmed for 48.
It's
but it will
confirmed for
be, like,
24. That's what we
It's
said
confirmed.
last week.
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
there is
Like
a
it's,
news
it's
article.
confirmed for 24 for like this chunk, but then it's gonna
Yeah.
take a break and then do 24 more is what I meant. So, yeah.
That's what I heard too, but I haven't been able to find like a definitive answer like from the studio or about that 48.
Hopefully, because it looks good. And
I think
hopefully it's
I think it has
good
enough
for
material
48.
to go to full 48.
Yeah. Maki best
Alright.
grill.
What's that?
Maki best grill.
Maki best girl, dude.
Yeah.
Pusu Pusu, dude, is so good.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, dude, Maki's great, man. Maki's great.
What's that ogre
Um,
face you got?
Cyborg
It just
gorilla
snaps the tape.
Cyclops gorilla.
That's what it was,
Cyclops gorilla. That's what it was.
Good.
All right. Yeah, that's definitely one we'll be watching, and probably one we'll be talking about. So just depending on the week. So, moving on. Anyone watching Vinland Saga? I know we talked about
yeah.
watching it.
Yes.
I
Are you
haven't
guys
seen
not
it.
watching Vinland Saga?
I just
I'm
haven't
not,
watched
I
it
have no
yet.
interest.
I've
Dude,
seen
you need
a
to
lot of
watch
the
this
stuff on
shit.
this list, so yeah. It's good.
You need to watch Vinland
It's the
Saga.
animation is
know.
really good.
Animation
Yeah.
is
The CG, it's Wit Studio, so like they actually know how to use the CG in shit. The animation's really good.
We
Just
watched the
watch, like-
preview. It's like I don't know. I just Vikings. It doesn't really do it for me.
Vikings
I
are
don't know.
dope.
Watch the first
Always.
episode, even like 10 minutes when they introduce the father and he's like fighting. It's
Faja.
Like I know what you mean.
so good.
Like you don't necessarily watch anime to see like Western fantasy, but like this is like the style of it is really cool. The animation is really good, and then like the whole world building they do just in the first two. Or there's only three episodes out, but just like within the first 2 episodes, like episode and a half, is like really significant. Like they do a really good job of setting up the whole world and like what's kind of going on.
Yeah, this show, this series has a lot of like character struggles, just animosity towards characters. Villains are really good. Man, this is a really good show. I can't recommend or hype up this show enough. It's so good.
Yeah. All right. So that one has a vote of confidence. Maybe like Dr. Stone, I may check it out. I don't know. It's like Vikings to me. I've never been a fan of like Norse mythology or anything like that. But I do like Wit Studio. I do like that how they do CGI. So that's something that consider for sure. This next one, it's like the class isekai. Are Ferreta
this one.
Shokugyo de Sekai Saikyo. Yeah. Anyone watching this one?
I
I
watched
saw
the first episode.
Yeah.
And this show is like comically bad. It tries so hard to be good, but it's really not.
I wasn't
It's
gonna
so confusing.
watch it.
There's
so.
actually a piece of news that we have in here. So this
I read
this
that.
show was supposed to come out last year in spring in 2018. So it came out over a year later. Apparently, the author slash creator possibly had a hand in replacing the whole like anime production staff. So over like a year later for it to finally come out, but like apparently he had felt like the script and whole production that had been going on for releasing last year was really bad. And then we got this where they just throw you into it without, so like here's things I have problems with. I have problems with shows that explain too much, which there is another show like that this season that does that. And that's basically every isekai does this, where they like there's always the fucking internal monologue where it's just talking about, oh, this world, blah blah blah, this is the exact situation, everything. Like that's so overused. I fucking hate it. They need to just do more stuff where they put you in and like kind of let the whole world do the talking, like the whole story do it. And then you have shows like this where it just throws you in there and you have no idea what's going on, and then it doesn't, like, the world's not explaining anything to you. So then you're just like, what? So like that's like the extreme other end. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Like, I don't care about the characters enough to like want to watch this guy struggle for the first like 20 minutes. And it's like,
Yeah.
really don't care. And like within the first like 4 minutes of the show, it's just extremely confusing.
Yeah.
There's like superimposed images of like what's supposed to happen in the past, but we don't know that it's the past because they don't tell you anything.
Dude,
in the first 4
nice.
minutes.
Dude loses his
It's-
arm and becomes an edgelord within 5 minutes.
Does he go blind though?
No.
No?
He just becomes an
No, but in
white-haired edgelord.
White-haired.
But in
okay,
the
Yeah.
art, he has an eye patch. So I mean, at some
He'll go
point,
blind
he
in one eye.
loses an
Okay.
eye.
Someone
Or it's
probably
just
gets
a-
hit by
or-
half of a train,
or-
and he
or
goes
his-
half blind.
His Chunibyo just
What's
kicks
up?
in, and he pretends that he
Chunibyo.
needs to
He
cover
needs to
one eye.
cover one
It's
eye.
like,
He summons the power of the burning
You know what?
fighting fighter.
So what I'm
At this
hearing
point,
is that
I'm
you're
not
gonna watch
I'm
it.
not gonna doubt that.
So
I'm
what
gonna watch
Yeah.
3 episodes and see what happens.
No,
but
I think I think I'm done.
Mark's
watch it for the
done.
memes, Mark. For the memes.
I don't know. I was there when
dude.
Mark was watching, and he's like, "You just pulled out a fucking gun," and then I watched it after he said that, and I was like, "Wait, what the fuck? He just created a gun out of nowhere."
Nice. Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so move on to the next one. This one's fun. How heavy are the dumbbells you lift? It's just lighthearted and goofy, and
Yeah.
it's so absolutely ridiculous. Like any of the shots of like these huge like dudes just like lifting, and their like muscles are like. I don't even know how to describe what was happening.
What they do.
But it was sick. It's just like a fun, lighthearted show about exercising. I wouldn't necessarily take all of the tips that it has. There's probably better tools for that out there. But if you want to watch
Yeah.
fun, cute girls lifting things,
As
it's
as they
interesting.
said multiple times, like, wait, how did, like, somehow you made it seem like super erotic when they're just trying to describe like how to do an exercise.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So everything's like over sexualized, but I think
Yeah.
that's kind of the point
Is
of
the
the show.
the way to they make it funny. Also, the fact
I-
that like the main girl isn't even fucking fat
No, yeah.
By any means.
by
no,
any
not at
means
all.
at all. Like,
Yeah.
okay, sure.
Yeah. What I like about the show too is that it's actually like creating a lot of buzz in like fitness communities in Japan, even here in the States. So I was listening to another podcast where they created their own like, like.
Oh, they
fitness
created
club
their own
after-
fitness club. Yeah, on
Yeah.
AAA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's smart. That's really cool. To kind of, shape it after, watching like a fitness anime. Why not
Yeah.
create your own club?
Anything
that what we're gonna
gets
do?
you,
Should we?
I mean, anything that gets you like up and active, like regardless of what it is, it's good for you. So
Right.
if this is what inspires a lot of people to go out and exercise, that's a good thing. Like Pokemon Go did that for a while. You hear a lot of
Until
Yeah,
it
now people
sucked.
just fucking
walk. Oh, you walked
Quit-
and you lost weight.
they put their
Yeah,
phone down and
duh.
just have something else do it for them now.
Yeah.
Or the
Or
people
drive
who,
real slowly.
you walked and you stood in the middle of the street and then almost got hit by a car. Nice, smart.
But but with that said, it's like anything that gets you up and being active, do it. If it
Just
if it
be
takes the cute
careful.
anime girls,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just research and don't
I'll
hurt
also
yourself.
I'll also say, as someone who goes to the gym, and if you're reluctant about going to the gym, just go, because no one's paying attention to anything that you do.
Nobody cares.
Unless you're gonna get hurt, and then someone
Then, yeah.
probably will come over
Yeah.
to you who's really nice and be like, "Hey, I saw that you were struggling a little bit. Let me give you some pointers." Like
Yeah.
that's like 99% of the gym experiences out there. So if
The
you're
people who-
worried about going out there, don't be.
The people who pay attention and will look at you will never come over to you, will never say anything. And if you ever look at them, they'll look away real quickly because they're more worried about how they look at the gym than actually getting anything done. So go do your
Yeah,
stuff.
if they're looking at you,
and
they
then
worry
leave.
about that. They're worried about how they look. Yeah.
So
Just don't
with
yell,
that-
though. Don't yell. Don't be like, ah! Don't do loud grunting. Just don't do that.
What?
We've
run into that.
Yeah,
We've run
and
into
then
that.
you'll get made fun of. But you won't get made fun of at the gym. It's just like you become an inside
You'll
joke
become a
yeah.
meme.
in a
Yeah.
friend circle.
In a friend
Which
circle,
is
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it is fun. If you want to be an inside joke, then yell at the gym.
Yeah. Let's move on. Isekai Cheat Magician. Anybody take a look at this one? I over isekais. You know how I feel about them. So anybody watch this one?
I did. I've seen
Rolando?
most of the stuff on here.
Yeah.
It's not good.
All right.
This is
There we go.
so you know how I was saying
Plain and
with
simple.
Ari Furuta is that there are shows that explain way too much, and then basically every isekai show. This is that fucking isekai show where, like, I don't need to hear an explanation. Like, I don't need you to read me an essay about your exact situation and what's going on. Like, there are too many
Yeah.
shows that just do this. It's just like, don't let the words, like, don't dictate to me what's supposed to be happening.
Well, it's an
what's
anime,
going on.
not a
Let-
manga.
Yeah, like,
It's not a light
let-
novel.
let the show do the talking, I guess. Like, not like literally talking
Right.
like they're trying to do, but like let
Let
the world
us
building
see
happen.
what's happening
Look at Vinland
because
Saga.
we can see.
Vinland Saga does a lot of good world building and explaining what's going on without fucking saying a thing. Without explaining anything.
Violet Evergarden.
But yeah, this is just, your typical
Isekai.
isekai, shitty isekai with main character and childhood friend.
Yeah. That's what it looks like. That's what I thought it would be. And thank you, Rolando, for watching
Yeah.
it for me, so I knew not to watch it.
You weren't
Yeah,
gonna
they
watch it. It had isekai
Even
in
though
the
I
name.
wouldn't watch it anyway.
Yeah, that had Isekai in the name.
That leads us to the next one, the MILF Isekai.
It's not an isekai though. Technically, they're just in the
They're
video
playing
game
a video
world.
game,
Yeah.
right?
Actually, in a video game, right?
Yeah.
Does this one have a shorter name?
I think so,
Something.
but
It's
I
a
don't
video
know what it is.
game with your mom.
I don't know what it is either.
Two punch woman, or two hit
punches.
woman,
Two hit.
two hit mom.
Two hit.
I like the memes that are coming out of this show. I think they're funny, but I don't know. Other than meme worthy, is it something that's worth watching, Rolando?
I've seen this. Mark, did you see it?
I watched the first episode and I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm leaning towards not watching it. It's pretty kind of cringy, kind of annoying. The main character is very unlikable.
Yep.
Uh,
He's just mean to his mom.
he's just a dick to his
Yeah,
mom.
he's
Like, dude, why are you a dick to your mom?
Right.
She just
Yeah.
wanted to hang out with you.
She gave birth to you. She birthed you into this world.
Yeah.
No,
So-
I agree. Like,
So we're not
it's-
gonna watch it.
I don't know.
It seems like it wants to be funny,
But it's not
and
funny.
it's not. Yeah, it could. I guess it could be funny, if the characters actually like got along and
We have to
it-
see
it
the
just
rest of the
wasn't
cast
awkward.
too.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just odd.
I don't know.
I
The,
don't
the
know.
mom is a little overbearing. I get it. It's just like
Yeah, I get that too.
she's also drawn
a
very
helicopter
young.
parrot.
It's just like, why does she look like your older sister?
Yeah.
And then
Is there
it's
in a
just
video
like,
game?
what I also don't like about this is that they're like over sexualizing it. So it's just like, why
Right.
or
It's
like
awkward.
what can they like ruin next? You know, like what is next? What is next that we think is innocent that they will ruin with anime?
It's the mother-son relationship. That's next.
You-
We had brother sister,
about it.
step-brother sister. Now we got
Fucking animals.
son.
I don't know. Like there,
You say it's
they-
gonna happen.
yeah. There's you know how there's like
Something. I
rule
wouldn't be
34
surprised.
or whatever.
Oh, God.
There's probably another rule that's just like, what will they ruin next? Like, no matter what, it will be ruined.
yeah, probably. That's why I give up. I give up on the genre. It's like it's gone plus ultra.
There's some good ones out there.
There are
There are
good
some
ones.
good. I'm not saying I don't like all isekai. It's got to be a very niche isekai or something that's like really good, like Konosuba or something.
That's not an
crazy.
isekai, really, though.
Yeah, well,
That's a comedy.
but he gets isekai'd. He gets hit by that truck.
No, he has a heart attack because he almost
Gets
hit.
hit by it.
And he
Already starting out
He
better.
he didn't get a heart attack from that. He got a heart attack from the embarrassment of
Yeah.
what happened.
Moving on. Is this one we talked about? I don't remember talking about this one. Maybe we did.
Oh, this was the
It's a sequel.
this is the Fate. It's like a Fate spin-off
Oh yeah. We watched the first episode at Anime
at
Expo, right?
Anime Expo, and we didn't know what was going on, but that Fate English showed up, and we're
Yeah.
like, yes, this
Yes,
is definitely related
This
to Fate.
is it. My God.
I don't even
is
remember. It
wishing
was
me.
like Reaper for You or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
It was. Oh no! It was Grave for You.
Oh yeah, Grave for
Grave for You, grave for me, or something
You.
like
some,
that.
some shit like
And then
that.
like blessed be or something. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, grave for you.
Wait, didn't like the dude said something like
God
shit.
damn it.
Oh no,
Yeah.
he said God damn it or something.
Yeah, it's like, but why'd you
damn it.
do it? Damn it!
God damn it.
It was so
It was
bad.
funny.
It was.
So
It was funny.
have you seen Fate Zero, Drew?
No.
Oh, okay, well if
Oh,
you
man.
had,
I don't
you
know.
should watch-
You would think it would be a show that I would watch because Shaft did. It didn't. I'm pretty sure they did.
Fate
yeah,
Zero?
no.
I don't think it was Shaft. I think it's all Fate has always been
Let's look.
another.
Let's see.
But
Wikipedia.
Studio
Ufotable.
Yeah,
that's what it
Ufotable.
was. You should watch Fate Zero. Fate Zero is
good.
the one Fate series to watch, even though like it was made after the Fate series had like been around for a while.
Mhm.
But this is based off of one of the, I guess the magicians that was in Fate Zero.
Oh, Fate Extra was done by Shaft. There you go.
I don't know what that is.
It's another.
Oh.
There's a million. of
There's
them.
too much Fate.
I liked Fate Zero though. I won't be watching this spin-off, however. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Hard when you don't know what's going on and then they're just yelling at you in English.
Yeah, in English that doesn't make sense. Grave for you.
Try.
Oh, okay.
Grave for You, yeah.
Grave for you. God damn it.
God damn it.
I thought it was a Metal Gear game. I was like, what the fuck? Oh my god.
Moving on to the next one, Accelerator, season 1. Rolando and I differ on this. I thought the animation was pretty poor, but then he pointed out to me that's just what JC staff does now.
This is this is not poor animation by any means in my
I mean,
opinion.
it's not as bad, obviously, as Index 3. That was like bad. This had moments that were decent, and then moments that were just like this is not good.
Just watching like the quality of the animation throughout the episode was way higher than like a lot of other shows. They definitely put money into this show.
We'll see if it keeps up because it sort of seems similar to how Index 3 was. It's like, oh, this is like it's okay.
Index
the
3
first
looked bad
episode, and
from the
then
start.
it devolved. Well, it was not good for the first episode, and then it devolved even further. So I'm hoping that this doesn't devolve any further. This just reminds me that it's been a while since I've seen Index and all those shows again, because it's like trying to remember everything that's going on. Do you know where this is supposed to take place in that world? Is it like continuing? Is it?
I think it's supposed to be
it's
during.
obviously after Sister's arc.
It's after Sister's arc.
Sister.
It's supposed to be during. From the first episode, it should be after, the Last Order incident.
Okay.
Because like he had just, I guess, gotten the whole, Sisters Network device and stuff that he has in season 3 and all that.
Basically, how he's alive
And,
or
yeah.
functioning.
Alive.
Yeah. So I'll keep watching it. I hope it doesn't devolve any worse than.
I will not
I mean,
watch
it's,
it.
It's not. It's not. I'll agree with you. It's not terrible. It's just. I watched the Firefighting Bros and then I watched this, and anything like coming off of that is gonna look not as good. So maybe that's what kind of jaded me. There's a show that we're gonna talk about coming up later that was even worse. It's just so bad. I think everybody knows.
No, that was the one that you were looking forward to.
I know, and it's idiot. We'll get to it. Next one, Kadata no Astra. 2061 space travel is possible. High school space drama. Or
I'm
adventure,
guessing
it's
none of
like-
you guys watched this.
I wanted to watch it, but I haven't seen the first episode. Did you see it, Orlando?
I
Any
did.
good?
Is it worth watching?
I'm gonna keep watching it for now. It's basically like a survival type show, but what I don't like about it is it does tend to treat some parts very lighthearted, but like they do try to keep a serious tone, as in
Like King's Game?
like, hey, we're gonna they try to keep like a somewhat serious tone, as in like they're actually trying to survive, but there are situations where you're just like, why are you like being all lighthearted about this kind of stuff? But like I get it, they're supposed to be high school kids, I guess, or something like that.
High School Chillins.
The animation's pretty good. So far it's been okay.
Maybe I'll check it out.
I will check it out.
Cool. This is the second season of Kurikai Jozu no Takagaisan.
I didn't see the first season.
I don't know if anyone watched the first season. I definitely didn't.
No, I haven't seen it, but I hear that this season is really good. If you've seen the first season, I heard the second season is just as good. So
I've only seen the first episode of the first season.
Next one, Uchi no Ko no Tame Naraba Ore
Long name.
Moshi Kashitori.
Let's just cut it there. That's a long name.
Yeah, a long ass
Just
name.
the English title is something like, if it's for my daughter, I'll even defeat a demon lord, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I didn't have any interest in watching this one. It didn't sound or seem very good.
Same.
You know?
Well, this one is the cute show of the year, or the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
This
it looks
one-
like.
Is it
This
the
one's the,
sweetness and lightning?
Yeah, it's the sweetness and lightning of the isekai. It's not even
sounds
isekai;
like
it's
that.
just fantasy.
Yeah.
But
It sounds like that one.
it's pretty cute.
Sweetness and Lightning was good, man.
I love
But
Sweetness
it's
and
not-
Lightning.
it's
That
not
was my
Sweetness and Lightning
lunch
levels.
dinner show. It's like, oh, they're cooking?
Yeah.
Time to eat food so I'm not hungry.
Yeah, it's cute, but it's not sweetness and lightning levels of like adorable. But it's still pretty cute.
So it's like, watch it if you
I'll
want
pass.
cute. If you don't care, then don't watch it.
Yeah.
If it
Or
becomes
watch
excellent.
or watch Usagi drop if you want cute.
Are you might not want to recommend that.
That's a great show.
After no, you might not want to recommend it.
Second.
Don't.
Great
You might
show.
not want to
So
recommend
Mark-
that after
Mark
knowing
recommends
how
it.
it actually ends.
I don't want to hear it because I know what you're talking about, and it ends before that. Trust me.
Well, the anime
Mark-
ends
Mark
before that
recommends
when
it.
it's still sweet, but the way it actually
Yeah.
ends is not
No,
very
no,
sweet.
no. Yeah, no, no. That's gone. No, that doesn't exist.
Spice.
All right.
I know what you're talking about though. Yeah, and that's not very pleasant.
No.
No.
Let's
What
just
else
leave
can
it
we
at that.
ruin? What else can we ruin, guys?
I'm sure.
Yeah, what else can we ruin?
What else can we ruin?
I'm sure there are no bounds to what people can ruin.
No bounds.
I'm gonna have to ask after the show what was ruined because I'm curious.
Anime was a mistake.
Anime was a mistake.
Next one, it is like a shoujo slice of life coming of age sort of story.
Oh.
Arabaru no Otome Domoyo.
I watched the first 2 episodes of this today, and I actually like
Yeah.
it.
The art style actually looks pretty good. I don't know why I didn't see this before.
This is the sort of show that
Yeah,
I've
that
been
sounds
looking for there to
That
be.
Shoujo show, right?
No, it's shonen actually.
It's a shonen.
Yeah, it's a shonen drama.
Hmm.
But this is the type of show I've been kind of looking for there to be more of in recent times, because it's not like just straight comedy. It's not,
Weren't we skeptical
rom-com
about this
or
one
anything.
the other week? Was this the one we were skeptical about? I can't remember.
I don't think
We were
so,
like, it might be
Sure.
good.
because I don't remember talking about this.
Oh, okay.
But
Mario Kata actually wrote the script for the show.
no, that's probably why I also like it.
Probably why you like it. Yeah, that makes sense.
But I like it so far. It's not like hitting you over the head with like teen drama, but like it's just it's enough to keep you invested in what's going on with the characters and kind of like the setting.
Not hate everyone.
Yeah.
I like that. I'll check this out.
Yeah.
And then we got the next disaster. What is it? The English is like Cinderella dropped her pantsuit or something. Basically, and this is what Rolando was talking about last time when we were like discussing this. This is usually the short format time slot in the short format studio, and they are now doing the long format, and it is not working out so hot for
It's
them.
not working out too well.
Not working out so hot for them.
They're not quite sure what to do.
I mean, I don't
Rolando's
even know.
just shaking his head.
No, it's not animated. Is like the way I can
It's
explain
frames.
it.
It's like
frames
there's a point where there's like playing basketball and it's like zoomed out on the court. This guy's like going at like 4 frames a second.
It's not animated at
Oh my
all.
god. It's just like stop motion.
It's just like so bad. It's like unbelievably bad. And the story like is all over the place. It's just like a bunch of stuff is happening, and you don't know why it's really happening. And then there's like this overarching thing of like this dude getting confessed to, and some sort of
But it's a
club.
mystery.
But it's
Except it's
also
not really a
mystery,
mystery.
except
'cause
it's not a
most likely
mystery
the
be-
younger sister.
and then
Spoilers.
And then it's a disaster. So I can't watch any more of it.
Yeah, no, me neither.
I don't know if someone wants to watch it for the meme.
The characters
But
are
it's-
unbearable. I'm probably just gonna watch it just because it seems really bad, and it's that type
can
of
see
like
that.
King's Game show that Alec really likes.
Yeah,
it's like
so
I'm
bad.
gonna watch it just because it's
So you
bad
can
and I
laugh.
want to laugh at it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how far that's gonna go, because I might actually just like after
I
the
was-
third episode be like, all right, there's no more. I don't have the willpower anymore.
Yeah, I was like thinking that
Not
it maybe
everyone
had
can
that
pull off
potential,
King's
but
Game.
it was just at least King's Game was animated. This isn't even animated.
No, yeah, this
It's-
was
yeah.
really bad on the animation standpoint.
Next one, Mao-sama Demon Lord retry. It's
did
kind.
not
It reminds
notice.
me kind of like MG Ronald's and God, what's the name of
McDonald's?
that show?
Overlord.
Yeah, the Overlord. the Overlord is a part timer or whatever, or
Oh,
part-timer.
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of something like that. But
Wait, I haven't seen this one anywhere.
uh,
I haven't seen this at all.
I haven't seen this.
It says it's on episode 2, but yeah, I didn't watch it. I don't really have an interest in it, but maybe it's one Rolando checks out. Not for me though. This is the show I forgot about. I was gonna watch this one, but I didn't.
Oh, Mark saw this one, right?
To the Abandoned Sacred
yeah.
Beasts.
Is that yeah? Because I remember Mark's like, it's Mappa, you gotta watch it, but I forgot about
No,
it.
man, this is a disappointing show for Mappa, to be quite honest with you.
That's sad.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan. I only saw the first episode, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna watch any more of this. It just didn't hook me. It wasn't very interesting. I mean, it. All right, no, that's not being fair. It's got an interesting plot, interesting like characters, but I didn't really like. I didn't like
Any
the
of it.
plot. I just didn't like it. I don't know. It's got like halfway decent CG, and this is.
Quit beating around the bush, Mark. Just say it.
Remember when I was
I don't
saying
like it.
before that I hate like a CG like armies? This is just
I hate
like CG like
Copy
random
and paste?
monsters. Yeah, copy and paste like monsters that are just I don't know. They're just like they just
Lazy.
don't look cool. They look dumb. I'm sorry.
Say it
They
straight,
just
man.
they just look really dumb. Besides the main character because he's a giant like wolf guy, and it's like, oh, that's cool. The other one's
Wolf
the dude with
guy.
like 3 snake heads.
What?
I don't know,
Wolf
man.
guy.
I didn't like
I don't
this
know what
show.
to tell you,
I'm
dude.
sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Well,
Good, you quit beating around the bush. You finally said it.
you saved me. You saved me.
You know,
you saved
this
me
is
24
like,
minutes, Mark.
yeah,
He's like, I
it's
don't want to
a
say
bit of
anything
a-
bad about Mappa, but
But it's
It's
Dude,
bad.
I love
Okay.
Mappa.
But
I
it's
love
bad.
Mappa.
They can't all be winners, Mark. It's
No.
okay.
Mm,
Happens.
I want it to happen.
Yeah. Next,
Well, it's not.
Copcraft. I think Mark, you're excited for this one.
I actually this is like one of the like unexpected shows that I actually really enjoyed.
it's
This
because
is a
they said
cool, like-
Mexicans a lot in the first episode,
Yeah, dude.
and you got
They're
excited.
Like,
We're
Oh,
drinking
they're like,
Mexican
oh,
beer.
Mark's like,
Mexican.
Mark's like, I'm Mexican.
like,
Nice.
yeah, dude, my people.
My people.
Except they're like Mexican gangs. and
Gangs.
that's not very cool.
Which isn't your people.
Darn.
But it's like this is a good show. This is like a good like buddy cop show with like sci-fi elements. I like this show. It's cool.
Starsky.
It's got a
OP
cool
is-
style to it.
The OP is good. The art style is cool. I like it. Yeah. I think this is another one to kind of watch and give it a try.
Good first episode, I think.
Craft.
Mhm.
All right.
Cool. I'm gonna let you guys talk about the next one. Keep going, but I'm gonna go grab another beer. So go on with.
I
Naka
stopped
no
watching it
De
after 5
Genome.
minutes.
5 minutes. That's
Wow.
pretty good. I'll
That's
be
a
back.
new record.
Yeah.
Rant on it.
Main character is annoying. Everyone's annoying. It was boring. It's basically the premise of it is, what if we took all of YouTube Let's Players and put them in a survival game, but not really. All they have to do
Oh,
is just
God.
get like a billion watches or whatever, like billion people watching, and
Oh,
then they
geez.
can leave.
Oh, that sounds painful.
Yeah, it was just, it looked like it tried to be Assassination Classroom and stuff like that, but like it was just bad. I had to stop watching it.
I don't know about that.
Sounds pretty fun.
Creepy llama boys.
Yep.
Next one. Anybody watching this?
I watched it. No one else watched it. I can
Nope.
see.
I'm only watching one more on this list. Rolando, you need to tell
Yeah.
us what
This-
what is it?
Yeah, I'm
absolutely
only
not.
watching one more as well.
This is like, I guess, the female version of Daily Lives of High School Boys, but so
Oh,
far
this one.
it's like kind of funny.
We just can't relate.
I
like
have
we
to-
could with daily lives of high school
Yeah.
boys.
Like I
High
have to
school boys. I can talk. I swear.
I have to see more of it. So far it's not too bad. There have been funny parts, but I guess I don't get all of the humor because I'm not I didn't go to an all girls high school, obviously. But
You didn't?
Wow.
but you know, it's like
didn't?
it's
Are you
still
sure?
pretty funny.
So this is on the 3-episode list.
I mean, I'll probably like keep watching it. It's not like bad by all means.
Right on.
This is the one that was interesting. It's like Magical Girl, but with mechs.
Yeah.
But with also mechs.
I
How
not watch
did this one do?
You guys didn't watch this, huh?
I didn't.
Okay.
No. It looked interesting from the preview, but
The
I didn't
mechs
watch
look
it.
cool. It looks like Gurren Lagann and shit, but the story is not interesting at all.
Bummer.
I don't really care for the characters at all.
It seemed like it was gonna be kind of weird when we watched the preview. Like what's
I like
going on.
I like the animation, but in terms of what is happening, it didn't look that interesting. Yeah. Next one, I know Rolando, you were talking about this. I don't know. I don't really like the music anime, but I'll let you kind of describe this one.
The music in it is pretty good. Like they actually like when they were jamming, like that's what you would actually have, I guess, with some like pretty talented musicians like at a practice studio. The story is like very yaoi. So I don't
That's what it looks like.
I don't
yeah.
think I'm gonna keep watching it. But the music was pretty good from the first episode. It's just the main character is like basically like a very depressed ripoff of Kasumi from Bang Dream, but as a guy,
But
But as a dude.
but yeah, instead of being all Kira Kira Doki Doki, he's like just super kind of depressing. Teach me how to play guitar, and it was like the music was pretty good, but I don't think I'm gonna keep watching. And just the character interactions don't really interest me at all.
Yeah. So I'll let you go through the rest of this. Or Mark, you said there's one more that you're on here, or was that it?
yeah, the Machikado Mazoku. It's about a girl who like inherits the will of excuse me, like her family's history that's like demons, so she has to basically kill the magical girls in her city. But she's like really awkward and uncoordinated and weak. But the magical girl is like super OP.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. I liked that first
It was
episode. I
pretty
thought it
funny.
was really funny.
Yeah.
It had some pretty actual like funny gags in it that I linked to you guys. That was like where she almost gets isekai'd and she's like,
Yeah.
oh, she just stopped the fucking truck with her hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I'll keep watching it.
I'm gonna let you continue, Rolando. But Alec, is there any others on the list that you were watching?
No, I haven't really watched many. I just watched the first 3, and then I was gonna catch up this weekend, and that didn't happen. So.
And then
here.
I watched I watched the preview that we had to cancel, the Linden Films short, the magic girl ecchi one. It is what it was.
The one that we
Magical
stopped
girls,
in the
dude.
middle of.
Yeah, the one that we needed to
Yeah,
stop.
it's like,
watching.
all right, I'm gonna close this now.
I mean, it's just over the top harem goofy magic, and it's kind of interesting. I'll watch it just because it's short format. But
I don't think it's harem, is it?
It's just etchy. I just want
It's
to
just
yeah.
etchy. Yeah,
Yeah.
Etchy?
It's just
Etchy?
random and it's random and etchy. That's what it
Oh, man,
what it is.
That was so funny.
It's somewhat entertaining though. So
It has
I'll
like
keep
it's
watching.
like kind of funny, sort of like it got like a couple chuckles out of me in some moments. It definitely gets a little bit dry and kind of falls flat at sometimes.
Yeah.
But like thankfully it's a short format and it has like it has like multiple segments in each episode.
Yeah.
That some of them are at least like kind of
It's like
charming and
it's like
funny.
Fast and Furious gets it out there. Some are funny, some
It's
aren't,
like-
and it just it
There's
is
no
what it is.
cars.
There's no explosion.
I haven't seen The Rock once. What are you talking about?
Yeah, there's no family
Where's
in
Vin
this. What's
Diesel?
going
Yeah,
on?
there's no family.
Paul Walker, man.
Oh,
Oh,
rip.
rip. F's in chat. Yeah.
F's in chat.
F's in chat. So Rolando, I'll let you go through the rest of them. Were there any highlights in here or anything that you'd like to call attention to?
The only other one I saw was the other short, Sonon Deska, and we talked about that a little last week. It's the
I saw a weird GIF about this. It's like she kisses one of the girls and then she gives her a cockroach leg or something. Or like cricket
Oh
leg
no,
in her
yeah,
mouth.
she was eating a locust for moisture, and then the other girl was like getting dehydrated and feeling faint-headed, so she like kissed
my
her and gave
spit.
her spit. And
the
there was a
spit.
locust leg in her mouth. Remainder, yeah. It's the humor is a little dry because it's like this one is the actual like survival anime compared to the space survival one, where like this one they're actually like caring to be like accurate with like how long a human can survive without water and like without food and that kind of stuff, whereas the other one is like we can't survive on this ship for 20 days without food and water, or like some shit like that, or it's just like you're not exactly correct, but okay.
Sure.
But yeah, it's like kind of funny. I don't know, it's short format, so I'm just gonna keep watching it.
Yeah. I feel like the short formats are just fun, easy, just throw it on. Like, oh, that was okay, move on to the next one.
Yeah,
Kind of
absolutely.
break up some of the longer shows.
Are you guys
is kinda how I
continuing
like
to
do
watch
it.
Carol and Tuesday?
I haven't watched the last episode.
I haven't
but
seen
I
the
haven't-
last few episodes.
Yeah, I haven't seen the last couple, so I was wondering, is it worth continuing to watch? Because it's
We'll
kind
let
of
Mark
taken
be
a-
the
I
decider.
don't know. I think I might watch a few more, and
Okay.
it's kind of staggered at this
Yeah,
point.
it's
Like
taken
it's not
a
really.
turn for the dull.
It had such had high hopes from you guys.
Drew's not gonna
and,
let this down.
Again, never gonna let it
Mark,
down.
you
let- he's
said
not
it was
gonna
the
let
next
down.
Violet Evergarden.
It was gonna be so good, dude.
I
And
said
it
that so
wasn't.
many times at Anime Expo.
And it-
Like
and
the
it
first
wasn't.
episode, the first episode was good, man. I loved the first episode.
I mean, the first
Second
episode was really
was
good.
also pretty good. Third episode, not
What
as
Not
happened,
good.
so good.
Fourth
happened?
episode,
Didn't-
what am I watching?
so it was good, and then it got isekai'd, and all the good went to another world.
Ooh.
That's what happened. It
All
got hit by
the-
a
all
They
truck.
the
left it all on
charm
Mars.
from
They
it.
left it all on
Yeah.
Earth. They sent it back.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, man.
Yeah.
But it happens, though. It
Yeah,
happens.
it happens.
Yeah,
it
it does
happens,
happen.
you know.
Just
Oh, well.
the next Violet
I'll just
Evergarden.
just keep reminding you about it.
Yeah, give me like three weeks, and then I'm gonna be like, you know what? Like it's starting to get pretty good, and you're like, man, you're really hyping that show up.
We're
huh?"
gonna get to the end of the year anime awards, and Drew's gonna be like, "Oh, Mark, you gonna nominate Carol and Tuesday?"
Every category.
Every category, the best
Best
of
boy.
everything.
Carol and Tuesday.
Yeah, for
That robot.
Gus.
The best
Gus,
the best
dude,
the
Gus.
best Violet Evergarden of the season. Carolyn Tuesday.
Carol and
Carol and
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Oh man.
All right.
All right.
So we can do a couple different things here. Do we want to talk about the next Orishiri show, or do we want to save that for next week? I'll leave it up to everybody.
Well, do you think
I
we
say we-
should do one? Like, how many shows do you guys plan on watching from this list?
There's
That's
a
what
lot
I
on
was
this list.
thinking as we were going through it. It's like this is kind of more of a jam-packed season. I think I'm watching 5 shows in a short format. Rolando, you're watching like 19 shows.
Well, I'm not gonna continue watching all of them. I'm just saying
so
which
Rolando's
premieres
watching
My
like
like
question
19
is, how many
shows.
of these are we gonna actually have something to talk about?
that
each
is
week?
that is
Because
the
I
question.
look at a lot of these
That's
and I'm
the other
like,
thing, yeah.
well, that's just shonen. Okay, well that's
Yeah.
Danmachi. All right.
That's what I'm thinking too. So maybe let's watch another weeks. We'll get into like the second episodes of a lot of these different shows. If we're finding that there's not going to be a lot of discussion for them, then let's think about coming up with another show. So be thinking about a show, and we'll
Or a
have them ready
topic.
for next week. Does that sound good to everybody?
That's fine with me. We can also
Yeah.
think about like maybe topics or something if we don't find a show, and we have
That's
a ton
true.
that we're watching. So whatever, we'll figure it
Or
out.
we can do a bad show
We
because
could do a batch
Yeah, we
of
could
King's
do a
Game.
bad
There-
show.
no.
King's
No.
Game.
Nobody wants to do.
It is a
King's Game.
bad show.
Ari
King's Game.
Ferretta.
Can we just continue watching Carol and Tuesday and make that our bad show?
Rip.
I think Ari Ferretta is a pretty bad show
Pretty
that
bad
would be
show.
kind of funny to discuss.
King's
I don't
Game.
know.
Or the one that doesn't have actual animation in it. The
That's
pantsu
true.
anime.
There's
Everyone's-
also that one too.
If everyone wants to stick that one out, I'll watch it.
That
but,
description makes me
man,
want to watch it just because that sounds hilarious.
Next slide,
man.
please.
It's rough.
Can you imagine buffering on that anime?
Oh,
It's like,
God.
oh god.
It's like, sorry, we just ran out of budget, so we had to show this still image for 10 minutes.
Another boat.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So I don't know how we're looking on time. Do we want to move into news, or do we? What are you all thinking?
We're like an hour and 20 in.
Should probably go
Yeah,
to news.
let's go into the news then. A couple of announcements before we do that though. Look out for Shield Hero Final Impression shot. So it looks like you guys are going to be doing a shot of your final impressions.
Yeah.
Any timeline for that for the folks to look out for, or
This week.
I think this
This
week.
week.
this week? Got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we gotta
Very
just
cool.
nail it down.
Yeah. Nail a time
Sounds
to
good.
actually get together and talk about it.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So this
It'll be
week,
short, so not
Yeah.
hard to do.
cool. Also, look out for the Anime Expo video blog on YouTube. Mark and Rolando and Alec, I know you guys were working on that. Any updates on that, or
I'll try to have that out by the end of the week. I think it should be up.
no?
Yeah.
I'm-
The
I've-
cosplay stuff is looking good though.
Yeah, I wasn't able to participate. Everyone knows my feelings about Anime Expo, but I am looking forward to the vlog to kind of see firsthand kind of what you guys got to experience. So other than the social media and all those posts, but definitely check out the social media. Mark was avid on a lot of those different things, a lot of the cosplayers, the Biergarten, things like that. So
Be it.
moving into the news, alleged manga pirate. Oh, I heard about this. Do we want to list his name? Do we want to make him famous?
His name is already on the news article.
Yeah.
Do we want to like promote that? Is that what we're doing?
We're
so
promoting
alleged-
catching
The
these
cr-
criminals.
The
These
creator
alleged
of
criminals.
Manga Mura. Just say that. The creator of Manga Mura. Cause
Yeah, he was arrested in the
Well,
Philippines and
manager.
extradited to Japan.
Manager.
Yeah, it was, and you kind of put this pretty well here. It was like a global manhunt for this person over manga, which is crazy.
3 billion
and
in
then-
copyright.
And then more pirates arrested. I know people are talking about specific naughty sites going down now. For those cartoon naughty things that we're not going to list, but those things are going down. So they're kind of cracking down on a lot of this stuff, which is, I guess, good. I just wish there was a central or a better platform for a lot of these things, especially for a Western audience. I think it
Yeah.
would cut down a lot of the pirating and things, because I would pay for a service to be able to have access to everything.
Oh yeah,
High
absolutely.
high quality
Yeah.
translations and things. But I mean, this is where we are. It's hard.
This is where
Yeah. Well, like the manga, it holds such value in print that I think it's hard for them to transfer everything over to digital, to be
Absolutely.
completely digital.
Yeah.
And we've also talked about the overall sales, digital compared to physical in recent years in Japan, and it's slowly going more digital, but it's still dwarfed compared to the actual
Oh.
physical
Yep.
sales, because people that buy manga don't just buy one, they buy the same volume 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. And there's something about displaying a full set of a series or something, having that in your bookshelves or something. I personally, I think it's cool. It's like, I read all this, I completed this.
Yeah.
I mean, I
It's-
have
I-
book
I
series
still-
where I own 4 different versions because 4 different art styles were out for a book
Yeah.
series, and so my
Or for
bookshelf
a
is
cover
literally,
was different or something.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so I know that feeling. I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's like the same thing with like Western comics. It's like it's cool to have like a physical copy of a comic.
Yep.
That way you can just pick
And
it
then
up
you
whenever.
put it in your
but it's-
sleeve. You're like,
Exactly.
look at,
Good
I've got
condition,
issue
yeah.
I got a few of
52.
them right there. That's my comics.
So if you
want to
go
section right
rob
there.
Mark, that's the section, right?
right behind, right, next to
behind
the
it.
piano.
Yeah, next to the
Nice.
piano.
Yeah.
Protected by the Guardians of the Galaxy. And
The
other people.
Avengers.
So those are
Well,
some of them are in
The
there.
Guardians are in there, yes.
There's some
whatever.
Guardians in the Avengers.
Forget the Avengers. I care about the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. So speaking of pirates, ANN decided to highlight some hentai artists asking people on Twitter not to pirate his manga. So don't pirate hentai.
Don't pirate your
manga.
hentai buds.
Yeah. Me.
I don't know. I saw this on the Anime News Network feed, and I'm just like, why is this on?
Let me read
Oh,
this
that's
tweet.
kind of funny.
Well, this
It
is
has
happening.
come to my
And hentai sites are getting shut down, you know?
Yeah. It has come to my
Wild
attention
West
that two of my latest works are currently being illegally uploaded and distributed. These are currently being localized by Enshoto, and I would ask my fans please support us by purchasing works legally once
Wait, they-
available.
They localize hentai.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah, man.
we walked into parts of those shops that said 18 plus?
No,
I mean, Mark wandered
localize.
around one for the whole time.
Oh, localized.
Yeah, like because he's saying it's localized in English. I'm like, would they? I didn't know there was a market for that here.
Apparently.
Yeah, and like on like Faku. I know they're big into
Okay,
translating and
okay.
reselling. That's why everybody goes to the Faku booth at Anime Expo. 'Cause
Gotcha.
I asked him, he was like,
Why
why,
there's-
even go? It's like it's a website. Like, why even go to the booth? Like,
So
what are
that you
gonna
can
buy
see
there?
it in person.
Want to hold it in my hand?
I'm going to wait in this 6-hour line that wraps the building.
I want to get my hands on it
I want to see the Deku
and
Smash.
then take it back to my hotel.
I want to see the Detroit Smash.
This next piece
Put it
of
in my
news is cool.
freezer.
I'm going to post the link in the Twitch chat. Alec, I don't know if you can maybe pull this up on stream, but it's pretty cool. So we know that the Olympics are coming into Japan in 2020, and there is a world flag, a portal site in Japan has reimagined the different participating countries as either anime characters or like samurai characters. It's pretty neat. So I posted the link in the chat. I think Alec is
Pull it up
working
momentarily.
to pull it to get it up there. But super cool. This is like done a lot better, but this reminds me of the G Gundam countries where they're all
yeah.
the Gundams
Yeah.
are different stuff. Like the American Gundam is a boxer football player. The the Japanese Gundam, they called it like Shining Gundam and like Burning Gundam in the English localization, but it's actually just God Gundam. It's like Japan's just God.
Just God.
Here we go.
I've seen that.
It's pretty cool though because like they show a lot of there's a lot of countries in here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
it's
US,
super neat.
China. Oh, wow. Here's
France,
the world
Canada.
flags. Closing ads real quick.
Canada looks like evil, and then like the U.S. looks like this like goofy looking,
Yeah, he just
goofy
looks
looking
weird.
like easy going kind of dude.
Old
Germany,
glory.
is that Germany? Yeah.
Which one's this
Britain. Britain looks like the guy from Shield Hero that everybody hates. The polearm dude.
one? Oh, the first one is Italy.
Spear
I
guy.
see. And then France.
The
Canada,
spear
does,
one's pretty
Canada
cool.
does look like sort of evil.
Yeah,
it does.
right?
But doesn't everyone view Canadians as like super nice?
Super kind. Apparently,
Oh, the
not.
That's not
the-
Japan.
the
Korean one's cool. It looks
the
like
US guy looks so hokey.
Yeah. China and Korea both look really cool.
Yeah, both of them look super cool. Korea looks like Neji from Naruto, kind of.
I like Germany.
Yeah. I can see that.
Argentina, he looked pretty neat.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I like that.
I think that's Mexico. Yeah, Mexico. He's got like an eagle.
Denmark.
And
China.
And Aguila?
Tequila Gundam.
Yeah, tequila.
G Gundam. That's the show that we should watch. That's a bad show. Is G Gundam. That show's so
G
sick.
Gundam, dude.
That
That
show's so
that's
sick.
good, dude.
Australia.
Well, definitely check those
Yeah,
out.
those are cool.
maybe
Scrolling
Mark
through here.
give that a retweet or something along those lines. But
Yeah. I'll put that out there.
it's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
neat. A good find, Rolando. It's cool.
I like that.
Next,
Ooh,
who's
Malaysia's
got this
awesome.
one? Our Lucky Star creator.
Anyways, gonna move this over.
Piece of news. Is that you, Rolando?
I put all of this news on here.
The news guy.
Yeah, so apparently there's an original anime being developed by Kadokawa with the Lucky Star creator. And yeah, it's probably going to be comedy slice of life. I mean, just look at Lucky
Same
Star.
sort of style as Lucky
Yeah.
Star, yeah. Cool. Hop Step Sing manga to be published in Japan in English, based on a VR idol group.
Yeah, I don't really know about this thing, but I just saw that they're putting it in English and Japanese, and it's
And there
some sort of multimedia, I guess, project that like a lot of things are nowadays.
And Anne, for some reason, is not loading for me on that. But anyway, moving next. Current airing series Arafuera was originally slated for spring 2018, but changed
we
for
talked
over a year
about this.
later. We talked about
We talked
this.
about that.
Anything you wanted to add? I think we kind of covered it.
We covered it earlier.
And then this is kind of cool. Crunchyroll, Cartoon Network, Rooster Teeth, Adult Swim will be joining the HBO Max streaming service presented by Warner Brother or Warner Media's. And we have here too. Crunchyroll clarifies that only some of its library will be available on this service. What's the point of just like adding like part of their library to that? It's like
I think it's just
the licensing. maybe?
Warner, AT&T, and Warner trying to get people to subscribe to HBO Max,
Yeah.
and of
Maybe
the
not
like
have-
5 billion other streaming services that are now out there.
Right.
Just a quick question. How many streaming services are you guys like subscribed to? Like
Netflix, Crunchyroll,
yeah,
Amazon.
Hulu,
I don't have Hulu.
I don't have Hulu.
Spotify. But
Spotify,
with
yeah.
Spotify, you
Spotify.
get Hulu.
Yeah.
Twitch Prime.
You
Yeah,
do?
Spotify, you get Hulu if you have the
Twitch Prime.
non-family
That's
one.
Five
Oh,
get
well,
already
we have
for
the
me.
family one.
Yeah, if you have the
The
single $10 one, you
Prime
get Hulu.
Video.
Prime Video, you get that with
You get
Prime.
Prime. Twitch you
I
get
have
with
Prime Video. I have Netflix. I
just like-
technically have
Basically,
HBO
there's
because
too
I have
many.
cable.
There's-
the point
there's too
exactly,
many.
the point is too many.
Well, and then if
soon-
you have cable like me, you have HBO, you have Stars, you have the Max whatever one, the Cinemax. I don't know. There's like
Cinemax.
7, and you have a different login for each and every one of them. It's just stupid.
and then there's the sports ones on top of it too. It's like let's-
Yeah, it's
can
it's
someone,
cable.
Like, can consolidate.
Yeah.
It's cable, but on the internet,
Yeah.
Yep.
and you have to have a login and password for each one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And not to mention those damn ghost shows.
Oh yeah, the ghost
I
shows.
love the Ghost shows. If I
The
could
Ghost
have
Show
one
Network.
channel, it would be the Ghost Show Network.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
The Ghost
Um,
Adventures channel.
The Ghost Adventures channel. It's Travel Channel.
Yep. Yep.
And it is
So
travel
anyway,
channel.
Yeah.
that's I think that's what we got for this week. It was kind of a jam-packed episode with all those different premieres. We'll probably we for sure will narrow it down going
Yeah,
into next
we'll have
week.
to. We'll have like
Um,
more definitive answers next week.
yeah.
We'll do the 3-episode rule for
Yes.
next week and come back and say what we're gonna do for sure.
Yeah, and then we'll figure out, is one show going to have a lot of substance that we can talk about versus, hey, these are just really entertaining shows, but maybe, not so much content. So we'll figure all that out. We'll come back next week. We'll regroup, and we'll figure out what we want to do kind of moving forward. But with that said, if you liked what was going on here today, make sure you hit that follow button, twitch.tv/anime on giraffe. Slam it. Turn on those notifications. You'll get that nice little email saying that we went live. Again, going live usually around 7:30, 8 at the latest Pacific Standard Time, or is it
It's daylight.
time?
Yeah.
It's daylight time right now. so-
PDT.
PDT, exactly. Also, if you didn't catch us live, you can always check out us on not on WordPress, on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Just search for Anime on Draft. Those are the most up to date. WordPress is there. It will give you all the links to those things, but may not be the most up
It
to
may
date.
not be updated at all.
Anime on Draft at
Since,
WordPress.com
like, 60
will direct
episodes.
you to one of the
It's like
more
episode
up to date
65.
places. With
But
that
you
said,
can
we
get
got
our
our social.
Gmail there. You can get our
That's
email
true. You
address.
get a lot of stuff there.
It's
Just
pretty
maybe
good
not the most
spot.
recent content. With that said, our social media manager Mark, he's killing it out there at Anime on Draft. Look forward to that vlog that we got coming out probably next week, sometime around then, and I'm sure it'll be tweeted about. Also, slide into those DMs. You got any questions for any of us? We'd be more than happy to answer you. What else do we got? We got anything else? AnimeOnDraft
yeah.
at gmail.com for any specifics if you don't use the Twitters or anything like that.
Mark's got
Yeah.
something to say.
What's
A
Mark got?
rating. I realized the other
Oh.
day if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a rating, preferably 5 stars. But hey, you know what? Just leave
Yeah.
us an
If you
honest
like
review.
us,
Just let us
please.
know. Let us know what you think. That way we can get some new listeners in here. It gives us a little bit more exposure. Just because I was curious and listening to some other anime podcasts, and we were pretty far down on that list. But we would like to bump that up because I think our content.
We
is a
enjoy
little
our
bit more-
content.
yeah, it's a little bit more fun than some other people's.
Wow, that's
Wow,
pretty
Mark.
bold of you to
Mark.
say.
Slam
It's
it down.
subjective.
This is a very subjective.
So
I'm
Mark's over
just
here
gonna
beating
say,
around the bush. Won't say a show is bad, but he's like, some of their other shit is
So,
boring.
By the way,
Some of these
hold
other
on
podcasts.
By the
here.
way, they suck.
Mark's like, some of these other podcasts I listen to aren't as good.
I didn't say that.
But
didn't
but
say
I
that at
won't
all.
say
I
this show
said-
is bad. This show isn't
I said our
bad.
I thought,
It's,
I thought we were a
content
very
is
welcoming
great.
community.
We are, man. I listen to a lot of other shows stuff, but once you start getting further down that list, we should definitely be higher. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, please leave us a rating. Please leave us a rating. That would definitely help us out. Thank you.
Yeah. It lets everybody else know if they're like on the edge, like, hey, should I listen to these guys? It gives them, gives us that little bit of.
Oh,
edge,
they got a
so
5-star
anything-
rating on
anything-
Apple
anything's
Podcasts.
appreciated.
Gonna listen
There
to
you
They got
go.
a 6-star rating out of 5-star scale. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
and the
Oh,
more
I met
people
these
we have-
guys at Anime Expo. Hell
the more
yeah.
people we have listening, the
Yeah.
more ideas we have coming in from people for suggestions as to different topics and content,
Oh,
so you could see new
This
stuff.
guy's
come
got
up
a
from that.
this guy's got a dog. Heck yeah.
Yeah. I got really annoying dogs that bark. We got it all. We got everything.
I have a plushy cat.
I got a real cat. Where is she? She's eating food. So she's
Anyway.
not here. But anyway, yeah, I think
Yeah, I
that's
think
it.
that's it.
Thanks, thanks everybody too for watching Death Parade.
Yeah, super
Yeah.
cool.
It made me happy that everybody enjoyed it because again, I super enjoyed it and I highly recommend it. Anybody who's on the fence, go watch it. But with that said, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this week. I hope to see you all next time. Have a good one, and we will be back next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Oops, sorry.